Opened here alongside a major roadway near Allentown in the early 60s, Terry Hill Water Park was the site of decades of summer fun for local families and passers-by. In 2014, due to financial issues, the park was closed and most of its assets were auctioned off. In 2017, the property was sold for $875,000 to John Scrip Jr., the owner of a local winery. In an interview with 69 News, Scrip was asked about his plans for the property, to which he responded, "I view it as a diamond in the rough, and we're going to make it sparkle." Tragically, only 3 months ago in August of 2020, Mr. John Scrip passed away. The rapid renovations to the property that had only just started came to a halt, and like many years previous, Terry Hill Water Park sits alongside the highway, lifeless. Driving by this location multiple times over the last 2 years made me curious. What was this place like? When it was operational, was it a location synonymous with family fun and summer recreation for families on a budget? Or was it a shady operation with a history of civil disputes and injuries? After weeks of research, I've found hundreds of online reviews full of fond memories and reminiscence about Terry Hill. So many people had these wonderful experiences tied to this location and have felt compelled to share them online. During this auction of the park's contents in 2018, alongside park owners looking to purchase equipment for their own businesses, were many local families who loved the park so much during its 50-year operation. So many people had so much emotional connection to this location. The decaying metal and concrete here on the side of the road. This is the exact property that all of these people remember so fondly. So how is it now so cold and neglected? Is it really the pools, the slides, and the mini golf course that people loved so much? To explore this question further, I decided to sit down with my girlfriend to discuss some of her fondest childhood memories.
Some of my favorite places that I went to as a kid were, Disney World, Hershey Park, Cocoa Castle, the local playgrounds, anywhere I could just get my hands on new things and just run around and be adventurous with stuff I didn't have at home.
Specifically Disney World, what are some of your fondest memories of these places?
Some of my favorite memories were just meeting different characters when I was little and having different experiences with my older sister and my parents was what I still remember to this day. So Cocoa Castle was a local playground that I would go to with my mom when I was little. And at Cocoa Castle, my mom and I would go down a bunch of different slides, and I would be there with my older sister. We would go to Cocoa Castle specifically when my dad was at work, and that was kind of something that I looked forward to throughout my week. But what I remember from Cocoa Castle was just running around and getting into trouble and waiting for my mom to come and yell at me. But I really enjoyed feeling like I was free there and feeling like I had so much to explore. So eventually Cocoa Castle got torn down and it really broke my heart. But I understand why they would have done it, because it was, wooden slides and metal that really hurt you on hot days when you went down. So they renovated and made it a little bit better with some safer equipment. So I understand, but that was a huge landmark for me. Seeing those construction vehicles and seeing it being torn down and almost forgotten about really just kind of tore a little bit of my childhood away from me. Back home, one of my favorite places to hang out was on my playset that my dad actually built for me himself. And there was a slide, there was a tree house, there were swings, there were monkey bars. There was a lot that I could do by just walking out my back door. But of course, eventually we had to donate the tree house actually to my neighbors down the street.
Why do you think you felt sadness when your treehouse, playhouse, or trampoline were taken away, when you knew that you weren't going to be playing with them anymore?
Yeah, I felt sad when I knew those were going away because I knew that I was outgrowing them.
No, you're good.
Hold on.
No, you're fine.
Now I'm crying.
It's totally fine. You can take your time.
I think just seeing those places disappear, I knew that I had outgrown them. So having to leave those behind was definitely a realization for me of, you know, I was getting older. And it was hard to, you know, see those places leave. But I would say that I also knew that I had those great memories, but it was time for me to move on and make more.